Hello everybody, Vangeris here, and welcome back to another Dark Souls 1 all-boss run thing. So, we're still making our way through the Centipede Demon run. We're making progress. I just hope we don't run into more issues of the enemies just not being attackable for whatever reason. It seems to be a recurring problem across this run where the boss just sometimes won't be damageable. Either in a boss arena or outside of a boss arena, so it's a bit strange when you get down to it. But now we begin the slow process of whittling down some of these boys. Dark bead, preserve us. There's more than one of them over there, isn't there? It looks like there's just one. What the fuck? Why'd you guys spawn in now? I hate how much damage that move does. Alright. This fight could be one of the hardest ones. Because of the two bosses, so we'll see how this one goes. Okay, never mind. I thought that was going to be way worse than it was. I forget that they are big enough where they can get in each other's way, and they also spawn in slightly different positions. I thought I was going to have to be dodging their extended punch at the same time, like both of them. Turns out it was okay. Wasn't that bad. It's a little ways to redeem how annoying the run has been otherwise. Hello. I need to restock on a little bit of ammo while I'm here. Fuck you. Alright. Let's go put the Lord Vessel on the thing. Then we're going to go down to the depths and do that bit, because we skipped over it because of obvious pain. And now we can resolve some of that pain. We still have to get through the fucking depths, you know, to be able to get to the boss, but at least getting out of there won't be a pain now. Alright. Let's sell a couple things, just because we always end up picking up some bullshit in our run. Alright. Alright. There we go. I'm hoping that repeats. There we go. Come on, buddy. Do you jump? Do you jump? That'll work too. Alright. The hard part about this run is just getting through all the enemies without dying, because there's not really a good checkpoint between here and just the actual bonfire of the depths. So this is going to be an arduous task. Yeah, that's the thing I was worried about. It's like just enemies we can't see hitting us through the wall because they glitched into the ceiling and shit. That's the thing that's going to destroy this section of the run. Could try something here. This. Okay, you're up there now. Can I actually, like, shoot you from down here? No. Yeah, I can't actually damage you for whatever fucking reason. Wonderful. Can't even tell if I'm actually hitting this guy. So there are certain moments where I can actually tag him and other times where I just end up hitting the floor. You see that? I'm hitting his head, but it's not counting. It's like, I should be fucking hitting him. One of these days, I will poison you. There it is. Okay, I mean, he disappeared, so that sounds good, but I'm not getting any souls from it, so it makes me wonder where the hell did he go? Alright, let's restock arrows. This is going to be slow going. Very slow going. Nope, 2 of them died. That's good. They're probably not in this area, because why would they ever be in this area, you know? Just need you to calm the fuck down for a minute. Okay. This is one of those weird situations where I'm not really sure what the best way to do with this is. Okay. Just make it to this bonfire. That's all we need. Just need to make it to this one bonfire. Alright. Alright, now this area is going to be a crapshoot, because I got no idea what's going to happen with the enemies down here. The thing, they might all glitch out into the ceiling, which would be fantastic, but they could also do a bunch of other shit that could be problematic, so it's really up in the air for how useful this run will be. Or not useful, how helpful this area will be. Let's see. Alright, so I can deal with these guys. I'll take this over glitchy shit every day. I don't mind tedium. I mind when shit's glitching through the floor and all that crap. Alright, I'm getting hit by two things I can't see here. Alright, is there something I can shoot around here? No? Oh, this is gonna be fucking stupid, isn't it? Alright. Okay, so a lot of the hard work's done. Now it's just killing the boss and getting out of here. Of course, I figured one of them fell in there. Oh, am I safe in this position? Can I snipe him from here? A lot of them keep dying, so that's encouraging. To get rid of you before you double tap me through the floor. I've dealt with so much bullshit across this and all the other runs. I'm not falling for it. Oh, great. Now we have more bullshit to deal with. Just let me kill the boss and get out of here. I think about it, it might be advantageous for us to skip the depths consistently and then come back here when we can warp out, because getting down here and getting out of here is a massive pain in the ass if you don't have warping. We might do that in all future runs. Basically, you know, use the workaround you know, to get to Andre from Firelink, you know, and then sort of go around to the Belfry Gargoyles, the Bell Gargoyles, do them, then grab the key for the depths while we're there, then come back to Firelink, you know, along the shortcut route to, what's his face? I hate that attack so much. Please just die. But you know how it works. You know, take the alternate route to Andre from Firelink, then do the Bell Gargoyles, then do grab the key while we're there, then go back to Firelink. You know, like work our way down through the lower Undead Burg to get to the key to the depths. And then from there, pretty much just, you know, once we get the key to the depths, we can take that shortcut back to Firelink from down there, restock arrows, and then, you know, just skip the depths, go down the back way through Blighttown, skip a whole bunch of bullshit, then come back out of there, and then progress normally till we warp, then we go down to the depths, knock it out, warp out of there, and then move on. Seems like a decent plan. Alright, I'm not really sure. Okay, which pathway do we think is going to be the most annoying? I mean, any pathway is going to be a problem. Let's do the pathway to Four Kings, because why not? It's going to be a tedious grind no matter what we do, so let's just pick a grindy lane and stay in it. Actually, that's one thing. I think I already killed all the centipede demons that are permanently killable along this pathway. Now, here's the real question. Do we go through the normal route to see? Do we try to take one of the ways around? Do we shortcut? You know, do we shortcut it, Butthole? Gonna run and keep running. Open, you slow ass door, open. Thankfully they're big enough where they can get stuck on a lot of shit. thing just lasts too long. This hitbox is too fucking big. I mean, holy shit, man. Oh, you fucking suck, Centipede. Fuck you. This is one of those runs where we can actually take advantage of being able to join the whatever that one covenant is that Quelaag's sister has, because it'll let us skip the Centipede Demon, because I don't want to deal with it. I also don't want to deal with all the other shit we're gonna have to deal with. So that'll be a nice way to sort of speed that run along. Actually, come to think of it, that'll significantly affect how fast we get through that area, because we won't have to do any of the shit going through the lava area. And we're also not going to have to deal with any of the bullshit of dealing with the Centipede Demon boss and a lot of the... Like, we basically just need to make it down to that sort of shortcut area, kill the enemies that are down there, and then go through the shortcut. After that, it'll be smooth sailing. Only problem is all the enemies down there at the shortcut. Because there's what, like 9 of them down there? Now granted, there is an incline, so I can essentially whittle them down with arrows from afar, but still not going to be ideal. But it's better dealing with that than trying to run past like 50 Centipede Demons in the lava area and probably getting tagged 5 times by an ability that almost kills us already. It's a better alternative than doing shit normally. Alright. None of you are activated. Alright, this run's gonna be a bit stupid given the range of this enemy. Try to reserve Dark Bead as much as possible. Thank you, short wooden beam, for protecting me against the fireball. You don't know how much that helps. It's one of those things where the more I play these boss runs, the more I come to dislike the way the bosses work. Because you really get to see every one of their movesets when you have to whittle them down from a distance. You know, it's just... It's very telling how annoying some of these fights can be when you... You know, I never knew Centipede Demon had like a ranged tracking fireball move. Never knew that. Until this run. And I hate him even more now. Why can't I trigger you? Alright, this could be a pro or a con depending on how it works. If I can phase through them... Because I can normally attack the enemies that are over here, but... I can't seem to hit any of these untriggered ones. It's an annoying thing too. It's like parts of the boss that you can clearly see, you can't hit them sometimes. Let's see what happens. All right. Well, they're activated now. I gotta whittle you guys down. Need to be careful with load times here. Or loading locations, I guess. This is one thing that I think will actually be interesting is when we get to Dark Souls 2. And just projectile spamming poison arrows constantly, because those things are... Poison's already overpowered, right? But there are certain enemies that are just completely immune to it in the boss world. So there's an element of it where I don't know how we're gonna, like, how that's gonna work in some instances, you know. It is one thing, though, where I think Dark Souls 2 has more types of ammo than Dark Souls 1 does between all the different arrow types, because I don't think Dark Souls 1 has dark, magic, or bleed arrows. So the Dark Souls 2 run is going to be interesting just because of the number of projectiles we can have. And just the number of everything we can have in that game. It's one of those weird things where the weird eccentricities of Dark Souls 2 is actually going to be helpful for the run in a way, because we're going to have so many more spells we can cast. We're going to have so many items that restore spells in the field that heal us. You know, we're going to have a lot of just shit to work with in Dark Souls 2. We're also going to have some unique problems. But it's one of those weird things where the run's going to be very different from the way these runs work, right? Like, by the time we got to, like... I don't even know. By the time we got to sort of... I guess Gaping Dragon, really. Or, no, by the time that we got to Quelaag throughout this series, we had already developed sort of strategies to deal with different problems that pop up in different types of bosses. You know, whether they have an AoE lingering effect like Quelaag's Lava, or they hit through huge objects like Stray Demon or Gaping Dragon, or if they're like a massive enemy that can like fall out of the world like Gaping Dragon, you know, or if they're a smaller enemy that we'll have to deal with in groups, you know, like the Capra Demon run, right? Well, like by that point, we've already dealt with a lot of sort of overarching issues that would pop up in subsequent runs. In Dark Souls 2, a lot of the bosses are humanoid, but some of them have more unique sort of gimmicks that are going to impact the way the boss run works, right? You know, like the runs against giant sort of humanoid enemies, you know, could potentially be much easier than other runs just because of the locations of some enemies in Dark Souls 2. So it's going to be a weird thing of trying to figure out how we balance or how we deal with a bunch of, there's a bunch of different variables across different builds and things, you know. I don't know. I feel like by the end of each run we're going to be kind of burnt out. This is largely due to the Centipede Demon just being the way it is. At least for this run. At least for this run. Style with it. Yeah, just the uniqueness of each run is going to be interesting for different reasons, right? I feel like Dark Souls 1, when you get down to it, will probably be the hardest consistently because of the gimmicks of each encounter. Like, the gimmicks of each area will play into the gimmicks of each encounter, right? Dark Souls 2 and 3's gimmicks are much more restrained. So it's going to be a weird thing to see how we deal with different things across the trilogy. It's weird. I feel like they only activate whenever... Okay, you're up there for some reason. You actually... Yeah, it looks like you're actually stuck in the structure, so... Oh no, are you kidding me? I can't get past this because of the leg. Damn it. Alright, let me go fix some things. Alright. I fixed the issue. And just to be safe, I killed a bunch of the extra sort of enemies that would have been in this room, because I feel like they would have completely blocked it with how fucking fat these bosses are, you know? I mean, just look at them. And they take up so much space in the environment. Anyway, back to it. Back to it, then. I can't even... I hate how they're not triggered, but they're triggered, you know? Of course. Of course we'd have that happen, you know. It's just impossible to get through a run, an area, without some stupid shit like that happening. Glad we got the shortcut, because holy shit, dealing with that would be annoying. Also going back through that room and having to reload and change the enemy and do shit like that again. Like, the weird thing about these runs is I don't mind the tedium of sniping an enemy from far away or dealing with an enemy that's in an awkward spot, right? It's just when the enemies don't activate and we get soft locked is when I really get annoyed, because I have to quit out. I have to reload the mod. I have to, you know, reload the game, and then that issue might come up like, you know, one time, might come up 20 times. You just don't know. You know? And it's just lame to have to deal with that repeatedly, you know? This is one thing I'm looking forward to as well, is just having more than 2 ring slots. That's one of the more significant changes that Dark Souls 2 made for the better. I mean, technically we should have 10 ring slots, but we don't want to make things too overpowered here. That would actually be an interesting way to balance gear, you know, if you could have like a list of different effects you could have on you at any one time. And it's like realistic about it, you know? Like if you have, but you have gear that has buffs, right? And then you can have, you know, like, you know, if you get like a pair of gloves, right, that boost your spell casting speed by like 10%, let's say. You can, it'd be cool if you could have one of those gloves on and it only did 5%. You know, like you get discounted, not discounted, but like you get like appropriately tiered bonuses if you only use half the set. You know, I think that'd be an interesting sort of like cosmetic thing. That would be kind of funny. Also, you'd look weird if you like mix and match different sets. You know, like you have 2 different gloves, 2 different boots, items. You wear 10 fingers, like 10 rings on you. You know, just weird, absurd things like that would be kind of funny to see, like, implemented into a game. I'm gonna bypass some of this. I'm tired of dealing with bullshit. Fuck you. the fuck? Where'd you come from? Oh no, we had like a little bit of a frame rate hiccup. That does not bode well. Why do all of the Centipede Demon's attacks just do absurd damage? Seriously, I feel like all of them deal like 1,500 damage. Granted, this is like the New Game Plus like 7 variant, but it's still just absurd dealing with some of this shit. Of course, you fall off the edge right after I use almost the maximum of what it takes to kill you. All right. I'm sorry, my... Wow, you got poisoned really fast. I guess I'm used to the boss level of poisoning. I require a key. Alright. Are you activated? I bet not. Nope, of course not. Why would you ever be activated? Nothing ever fucking works in this mod. Everything's just painful. It's always painful. Yeah, I figured I'd be dealing with this shit. How the fuck? I'm really wondering if that area is even fucking doable given the... Actually, now I think about it, I don't think it will be doable. Because if there's like 5 of them in there, and they're all spaced out evenly, the way the room is normally spaced out, we're not going to be able to get past that area. They'll knock us into the water over and over and over, or kill us in 2 hits. I actually don't think that way's passable, like, functionally. I think about it, because you can't shoot any of the enemies. And there's not a big enough opening, and I can't hit them during the attack either. I think we're actually soft locked behind that room. I think about it. I think we actually are soft locked behind that room. Because we could technically dodge it, but I can't see the attacks when they're going through. And I don't know how many enemies are actually fucking back there. So it's like... Yeah, you know what? It might technically be possible to beat it if we have the best timing, the best luck, and we have no fucking problems dealing with that shit. But, I'm just gonna, like, fix this shit just so we can get to the Four Kings and get past some of the bullshit around this area. So, I'll be right back again. Alright, I'm back. I said fuck it and just killed to the boss arena and then reloaded the mod. I'm so tired of the Centipede Demon run. I'm still gonna go through the rest of the game with it. It's just I'm having mental breakdowns because of this fucking boss and the way it works in the game. It just breaks the game randomly sometimes, and that's incredibly difficult to deal with. Alright. Alright, we got our first Lord Soul. Whoop-de-doo. Alright. Let's get set up to go to the Bed of Chaos pathway, but I don't think I'll actually go down it. That pathway is going to be much shorter than the others because of what we can skip, which is going to be nice. This is the one time we can skip that shit, and I can feel okay about it. I think about it, actually. In the future, I could just fight the Centipede Demon and then do the skip. I don't actually have to go through the lava area. It is nice, though, to watch the bosses die in the lava, though, that aren't immune to it. So that's satisfying. It's a mixed bag of different things. Alright, let me make sure. I am Chaos Servant, that's good. Alright. Well, this run is still just annoying as hell, so we'll see how it goes. We might be able to finish it up next time. I'm not sure. It kind of depends on how long I have to record and how long it takes to get through different levels of bullshit. So we'll see what happens as it happens. But for now, I'd just like to thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys later.